Okay. All right. So, hello everyone. I know that someone had a question about this first question, this first problem. This is the Kim, Chloe, and Courtney problem, right? So on the side, you have all the girls' equations set up. So Kim has 2 sodas, 1 candy bar, and 3 large popcorns, and it equals 1925. So here it is, 2s plus c plus 3 at 3l is equal to 1925. And our variables, s, c, and l, they represent each of the items they're buying. So the price of soda, the price of candy bars, and the price of a large popcorn. And then over here, I know they're not in order, but this is Courtney's purchase. So she has 3 sodas, 2 candy bars, 4 large popcorns, and they equal 28.25. And then here you have Chloe's. There's 1 soda, 2 candy bars, and 2 large popcorns for 15.75. Now, in this type of problem, it's a bit different because you have we have all three of the variables here. There's nothing isolated. So usually when it looks like this, it might be easier just to use elimination. So if we look at this, I noticed right over here, 2c and 2c. So they're both have the same variable and have the same number. And I know that if I combine them, I can cancel them out. The only issue is here, they're both positive. So if I want to eliminate these guys, these 2c's, one of them needs to be negative. In order to do that, I can multiply the last equation by a -1. So if I were to do that, everything here, their signs are going to change. So I'll write over here. Instead of saying a positive s, I'm going to write a negative s. Instead of saying a positive 2c, I'll write a negative 2c. Instead of writing a positive 2l, it's a negative 2l. And instead of saying a positive 1575, I'll just write a negative 1575. All right, so I change all the signs here so that when I combine it with that that this second equation, so let's just name this 1, 2, and 3. If I combine 2 and 3 together, right, now they'll be able to cancel out one of the variables. So using that elimination. So 2s plus 2c plus 4l is equal to 28.25. All right, so now I can go ahead and combine them. So what's going to happen here is that you're going to do 1575 plus negative 1575 plus 28.25. So this one would be 1250. And over here, you have a negative 2l plus a positive 4l. And that will just be 2l. And it's a positive right over here. And then we have a negative 2c plus a positive 2c. These are inverses. They're additive inverse, so we can cancel those out. And then we have a negative s, so a -1 plus 3 is just going to give us a positive 2s. All right, so it looks like this now. That's going to be one of our new equations. Now, this doesn't tell me anything, right? Both my variables are there, but at least I was able to get rid of the c's. Now, let's go back to our original equations. So I already took out c from 2 and 3. Now, let's try to take out c again right over here. So we have a single c by itself. And we can actually combine it with maybe the same with number two's the second equation's 2c. Now the issue here is that we have a positive 2, but we need that negative 2. So we have to change this c up here into a negative 2c so we can cancel things out. So I can actually multiply this first equation by a negative 2. So that's what I'm going to do right over here. I'm going to multiply the first equation by a negative 2. And so what's going to happen is that this negative 2 is going to be distributed through all the parts of this equation. So negative 2 times 2s, that one is just going to give me negative 4s. Hold on, let me make that s smaller. So it's negative 4s. Negative 2 times c, that's going to be negative 2c. Negative 2 times 3l, that's going to be a negative 6l. And a negative 2 times 1925, that's going to be negative 3850. So negative 38.5. All right, so that is the first equation changed up. So I'm going to add the first equation with the second equation. So let me write that second equation in black. So we have 3s plus 2c plus 4l is equal to 2825. Now, this looks like a mess, but I'm going to go ahead and move this. So I'm going to take all of these and move them down so that we can see it better. Okay, so like right over here. All right. So now that I have my equation 1 that's changed, equation 2, I can go ahead and start combining them. So I'm going to use addition, and I'm just going to combine them over here. So we have a negative 3850 plus 2825. Yeah, is equal to a negative 1025. Negative 6 plus 4, that's going to give you a negative 2l. Negative 2c plus 2c, well, they're additive inverses again, so I can go ahead and cross those out. And then I have a negative 4s plus 3s. That just gives us a negative 1s. Okay, so now we have these two equations right over here. We have this 2s plus 2l is equal to 1250, and this negative 1s minus 2l is equal to negative 1025. So let's go ahead and get these equations closer together. Just so we can compare the two. All right, so we have these two equations. Now, what's great here is that, look closely at it. We have our additive inverses again. We have a positive 2l and a negative 2l. Oh, thank God, we don't have to multiply anymore. So what we're going to do over here is that we can just combine them as is. So let's add them. And we're going to be doing 1250 plus negative 1025. And this is going to give us that 225. This crosses out, and then we're left with 2s. So 2 plus a negative 1s. So 2 plus a negative 1. That's just going to give us s. Oh my goodness. So now we have the price of soda. right? The price of soda is $2.25. Right. Now we're pretty okay right now. We have the price of soda is $2.25. Now you're probably wondering, well, Miss, now we have like three of them, right? How are we going to find the other how are we going to go ahead and find the other variables? Now, because we found that price of soda, it's going to be easier for us to find that price of soda. Sorry, find the prices of the large popcorn and that candy bar thing. Okay, so what we can do, let me just put all the equations that we've created down here. So let me just move them down, down, down. Okay, so this is our first, second, and third equation. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and let me just fix that C. And then we're going to include those two other equations we had. So we had 4 was that 2s plus 2l is equal to 1250. And then we have 5 that negative 1s minus 2l is equal to negative 1025. That's a 25. Okay, great. So we have all these written out, and we just have that value of s. S is just equal to 225. So we only have one variable. Which of these 5 equations can we put this variable in? This value of s is equal to 225. Which one is going to be the best for us to solve? Now, some of you might be saying, well, I'm used to just plugging into our original 3 equations. But the problem is here, you have, once you substitute those s's, you have those c's and l's to worry about. You don't know what any of those are. So I'm not going to put in the original 3 because that's too many variables to work with. I want to put it in with the least amount of variables so I can get one variable by itself. So let's see. Oh, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 just have 2 variables. And if I cover the s's, if I replace them, I'll be able to find the L easily. So let's try to use equation number 5. That one has a negative 1s, so that should be easy to work with. So let's go ahead and rewrite equation 5. Negative 1s minus 2l is equal to negative 10.25. So at this point, this is where you want to replace s. So s, you're going to put that $2.25 in, minus 2l is equal to negative 1025. Negative 1 times 225, that's a negative 225, minus 2l is equal to a negative 1025. We want to move everything that doesn't have a variable to one side of the equal sign, so we're going to add 225. And we have negative 2l is equal to a negative 1025 plus 2.25. That equals negative 8. Divide negative 2 on both sides. And we are going to get L, the large popcorn, costs $4. Man, this is probably a really cheap movie theater because usually when I go to movie theaters, they cost like an arm and a leg. They cost like $20 for a popcorn. But yeah, this is that second price we were looking for. So, um, okay. All right, cool. Never mind. So yeah, so we have L is $4. We have S is 2.25. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to find that price of a candy bar. So now that we have two variables, think about this over here. Where can we hold on a sec. L is equal to $4. So now that we have two variables, where can we plug these guys in to find C? Can you plug it in the original three equations now? Or can you plug it into the two new equations, the 4 and 5? Think about what you have and think about what you're looking for. All right, so I'll leave that up to you guys to go look at.